Call this meeting to order. We'll start by saluting the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I take a motion on the minutes of the 8th and 3rd meeting.
Motion to accept.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Any adjustments to the agenda?
Just one easy one, and that is for the warrants to sign. It's 87 through 90, not 87 through 91. That's it.
Any public comment? Yes, sir, Mr. Richardson.
Do we know when we're lifting road postings yet? We haven't yet.
I will have to inquire. Oh, Kathleen has an answer.
The road foreman expects to be doing so in the next 2 weeks. He says right now the sides are still too soft to do the postings off.
Any other questions from the public?
Yes,
Laura?
thank you for they cut down the trees that were hiding the arrow, and they cut one that was hanging over the road. So thank the highway department.
Any other comment? Business items, 5-1. Review and approve liquor license renewal for Daddy-O's LLC.
Motion approved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 5-2, accept an $84 donation from Robert Rucker to the Oxford Rec Reserve.
So
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Discussion on the 4th Street Cemetery.
All right, so in your package, you'll find some information there about 4th Street Cemetery. The nutshell is that the folks that run the 4th Street Cemetery are saying they're no longer able to maintain and care for the cemetery. They're requesting the town take over ownership of the cemetery and run and maintain the cemetery. So I have spoken to the town attorney about how this process would work. In general, they would send us a letter stating that they are interested in having the town take over ownership and operation of the cemetery. We would need to receive that no more than 30 days prior to town meeting. We would have to then add a warrant article on the town meeting warrant. And if that passes at town meeting, then we would go through the process of they would convey all their interests and so forth to the town so that we could maintain it and operate it and so forth and move forward. So I did, like I said, I did talk to the town attorney. I went ahead and just had him draft the warrant article so we would have that in case that's the direction that we want to go. It's pretty straightforward. So I have that sample for you when we get to the warrant. If the selectmen, one of the things that comes to my mind is, well, what if the town's not interested in taking over the cemetery? We still, by law, are obligated to at least care for the veteran grave sites that are in the cemetery and maintaining those. But the town would not have an obligation, I don't believe, to take care of the rest of it. So I'm bringing this to you folks tonight, just kind of as our first time talking about it. Moving forward, I'm hoping that by the next meeting, we can have further discussions where you can hit me with questions or what have you. See what direction that you folks would like.
Have we had this happen before? I'm trying to remember. I can't.
With other cemeteries?
Yeah, that's what
Not since I've been here.
I don't.
it hasn't been.
I think it's the one was before, was the one that's there in Dr. Gretsch's field. Yeah. I don't think we ever got, I quite frankly thought that was a person, because it is a family farm up there. There aren't many in it.
On 4th Street?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or there aren't any, maybe there was.
so I'm not sure the status of how many there are available in there, but
That's one of my questions.
there are.
Do we know how many veterans are?
I don't know, did you have that conversation with Mike James?
I have to let some people pull it, or I can have it ready. for you.
Well, yeah, I mean,
There are veterans in the cemetery.
I was pushing the wall.
So my questions, I have the size of the cemetery, the size of the lot, the number of available plots, burial plots, and the number of veterans. If we can have that for next meeting.
All right,
Any other concerns?
No, that's just what I was gonna ask for.
I did include a little map in there. I know it doesn't say how many acres it is, but it gives you a general idea of where it is and stuff. I will have, how many open spaces, size in acres, and number of veteran sites, right?
Okay, covers it.
Okay.
5.4, review and sign Oxford County Assessors Return.
All right, we have received, we'll have that to go around, but we received the assessor's return from the county. It is $879,014 this year. They have sent us. Included a copy of the letter and so forth.
The feeling of the board. Ain't got no feel, right? By your motion,
Make a motion to sign for 879,01.
I hear a second. Second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Please, Mr. Chairman. Review proposed MSAD 17 session.
So I also received this information from the school department, so I just wanted to make sure I shared it with the board. The proposed, when I received this, which is when I drafted the packet the other day, is $5,980,302. Last year, we ended up with $4 million. This is after all the votes. $4,788,097. So that's a $1,192,000 increase. So I just wanted to throw that out there just to make sure that we're all in the loop. And I would encourage folks to go to their school budget meetings and so forth. So you wanted to be aware.
Do I hear a motion on this?
We don't have any action.
Well, it
No,
is.
no action, just a sharing of
Okay.
information.
All right. Good enough.
Do you have the dates for the budget votes and all that? And can we get that posted on our Facebook page again as it gets closer? I think it's been on there once, but the forum vote, which most people don't know about. That's the first actual vote on the school budget.
So I'll get the dates for the budget votes and I'll email them all to you and we'll have it posted online.
Can you ask the superintendent to send you the sheets that shows the breakdown of the amounts that all the towns are paying and how the calculation is based?
Sure. I have a copy of that, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Any other?
He would already email that to us.
I think I did email it, but I'll give you the hard copy. Those two sheets.
5.6, police vehicle RFP revisited.
So, we all know that Oxford County Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is, given recent events, they're not in a position to fulfill our bids. So, long story short, the police chief had been speaking to them in the corporate office, and out of Bridgeton, McDonald Motors is willing to fulfill the town's order. So that would be 2 Dodge Durangos, $37,746 each, for a total of $75,492. They're willing to honor those orders. I have spoken to the gentleman over at McDonald Motors, and all that they would want to proceed is a purchase order. I'm bringing that to the board because they weren't part of the bid process, but obviously that's an aggressive price. So I wanted to take the board's temperature on if you would give me direction or not to go with them, or do you want to put this back out to bid?
It's the feeling of the board.
I would just make a motion to accept this. I think this was great.
Second.
They were able to honor this for another dealership.
Did you second that, Cody? Any more discussion? All in favor in accepting the bid?
I'll do that tomorrow. Thank you.
5-7, abatement 28 Oxford Advent Church, account number 1333, in the amount of $53,6520.
How come so much?
So she just stepped out to make a photocopy of those. My understanding is what happened is that it was counted as taxable when it wasn't.
It said it's a church. Didn't they recognize that when they assessed it?
Well, out of all of the accounts, it was obviously an oversight.
Any more discussion on the, do I hear a motion?
Motion for the abatement of $5,365.20.
Second.
All those in favor? 5-8, abatement 29, Natalie Reynolds, PR State of John Greenlee, account number 2500, in the amount of $633.50.
So moved.
Second.
Any more discussion on this? All those in favor? Payment number 30, Roger Twitchell, account 1413. Seems to be,
Yep. The assessor recommends
This is
denial.
recommended denial. I'd make that motion to deny.
here a second.
Second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Payment number 31, James and Lauren Laurie, account 1801.
Motion to deny.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Department head report, assessing department update, associated. You're up.
Well, we received summary sheets for the abatement. Did you hear those, Adam?
Yeah, we've already gone through the abatements.
Right, but summary sheet that shows the total for the season. That's the other one.
I thought that you were bringing those from, look at that. There are some extras here. Well, that's enough.
Are we having fun?
Take one, pass it on, please.
Yes, sir.
So that's a summary of the abatements and supplements issued for the 24-25 tax year. You're over and done with them. We have received like some more abatements, but they were after the deadline, so we did need to consider them. I guess I had a handful of referrals. So this is, they're all done with abatements and supplements for the year, which is good. Everything else is moving forward nicely. We went through the town audit. We're undergoing an NRS audit right now. We met with the auditor for the first time this morning. But that's underway, and then it's just business as usual. We're doing site visits and done processing fees, other than there'll be some more coming in for dental handle, some in the same tax journal, things like that. But we're in a much better schedule than we were last year. We're in a normal schedule this year.
I just want to point out that, so including the abatements we did tonight, right, Colleen?
Yes.
This includes those,
Yep.
that we abated about $27,000, but we supplemented $6,700. So our net abatements, if you will, were $20,700, which I think that's pretty decent.
Shoot for lower next year.
Yep.
Any question? All righty.
Thank you.
Town managers report.
All right, so I have the draft warrant, I have that included in your packets. So I'm gonna go ahead and just flip through this real quick. So this is a draft, it's in pretty good shape though. Every article is, as you've seen in the past, I have included obviously this year's requested amount, and then I've noted last year's budget amount that was passed at town meeting for all of them. Where the budget committee and the selectmen disagree or have different opinions, like for instance on Article 7, which is the fire department, I have included the higher amount in the warrant article, but I have included what the recommendations are between the selectmen and the budget committee. So the number 7 is one of those areas. You'll also see, yeah, then also number 20, Article 20 is another one that you'll see that there's a difference, and I noted that there. So every year when I put that handout together that goes with it, I'll put a lot more explanation in there as to some of this stuff, for people to have to reference. Overall, the budget articles are all pretty straightforward. I've included the capital items. Those are, again, pretty straightforward. Where you'll start to see some new material in there, it comes down at the end, and that is what we discussed a few minutes ago, and as well as I have Article 35. Article 35 is the borrowing article for the road bond that we've been discussing. This is quite lengthy, but it's all language from, you remember when we did the town office here, it's a pretty lengthy financial statement we have to do, so that's in there. Article 36 would be the cemetery article, and then LD1 is no longer, that was appealed, so we no longer have to do that. Oh shucks. So that's been removed. But then Article 37, this one I really want to call your attention to. This is the referendum town meeting question that we've been discussing. I put in there parentheses written ballot, as I thought that was kind of some of the discussion that I've had with a couple of board members too, is doing it as a written ballot at town meeting. But simply, do you favor authorizing the selectmen to consider changing the method of voting at annual town meeting to secret ballot referendum instead of the current method of voting in person by show of hands at an open town meeting? I did note that the results of this article are non-binding and for informational purposes to inform the Board of Selectmen of the wishes of the town. So, am I capturing the spirit of what the board wanted here?
Oh, this is good. Good.
So really the only things that we've got cooking here is our further discussion on the cemeteries, I think, and I think we're in pretty good shape otherwise. So I did on the return. We haven't been posting in the lobby of the public safety building, but I think that makes an awful lot of sense to start putting them in there. There's a lot of traffic through there, so I did add that to the list of that. I don't think we need to go too crazy here, but I'm not sure how much traffic that the barber shop that we have listed gets, and I don't know if we should consider maybe seeing if we could put it up at Hannaford or somewhere else where there's a lot of foot traffic. I don't know if the board would be open to that or has even any cares on that. I might reach out to Hannaford to ask them to put it in their lobby if that's, not how they have a community board or something. I think. But that's what I have for you on the warrant. If you have any feedback, please let me know. And then, so speaking of the road bond, timeline with the road bond, I was looking at that. We will end up having to put an RFP out for the actual bond itself. In talking with the town attorney about just kind of timeframes and stuff, I was gonna try and put that out sooner than later. But one of the things that she recommended was if we wait and we have it so that it lines up with, because we don't need it settled for town meeting, but if we wait, then the meeting after town meeting, if it's passed, that we can move forward with the bond, we can have one meeting of the board where you can award the bid and you can authorize the borrowing at the same time. So for efficiency purposes, it made sense to me. So we posted on the 16th of May, and then we open the bids on the 17th, and then I bring them to the next board meeting after that, which right now is scheduled to be the June 19th. But I did notice that June 19th is a holiday. That's the Juneteenth holiday. So I don't know, since we're talking about this right now, if the board would like to reschedule that, or would you like, I can just bring it back up in the first meeting in June and we can figure it out then. But that would just be one item that we need to think about. And then lastly, I did get an estimate on the propane tanks here at the town office. To replace them would be, the estimate that I'm getting is $19,000 to install 2,000-gallon above ground behind the building propane tanks. That includes the cement footings, the tanks, the hookups, the whole, yeah.
And that's us owning them.
And that's us owning, yes. And then the last thing I've got for you is, I know we've got a handful of folks that are turning their papers for the selectmen seats. Are we, in the past, we've done like a candidates night at the rec center. Is that something that the board wants to not facilitate, but, allow space for?
I don't have a problem with it, but
I don't think the selectmen should be involved in it.
I would tend to agree with
I
that.
think he just meant, was we okay and them use the correct stuff?
Well, if they ask and I say, okay, you guys are good with it, right?
I will.
Well, we've used the rec center, or we could do it here, whichever, but,
Yankees too.
okay. So that's what I have for you, folks.
Now, on the bond,
Yeah.
make it clear, putting out the bond, everything else, the payment won't come due until 26, right?
Correct.
So it's just gonna carry on like the payment we're having right now. It pays off this year, and it carries on to next year.
All right,
So we're not increasing.
we'd make our last payment this year,
Right.
and then we'd make our first payment in November of 26.
For the new ball.
It would be a little bit of a higher payment than we're currently making.
But what I'm saying is. it's
It wouldn't
not gonna be-
overlap.
right.
Kind of swapping debt for debt, but it's a pretty ambitious list of roads we've got that we'll be able to get done, so.
Any other questions from the board or items you'd like to discuss? Dan? You got that look in your eye.
Yeah. Can't remember what it was now. If there's anything important, super important.
This is under selectmen's items.
Yeah.
Look up. You said roads posted. And they're not gonna be for 2 more weeks. Well,
The foreman estimated for
the
2
last
weeks.
three days, go by my house all the time, there's Shaw Brothers in their dump trucks, going to the pits. You seen them?
I have not.
I thought the roads were posted.
I'm posted now.
I suspect he's gonna make note of that. Literally.
I haven't noticed the post. I noticed them early this year, but I don't see them on. Maybe I just don't pay attention
It's
to
the
it
T
now.
on our road.
I think they were. I
It's at
mean,
the T
On the
road.
intersection.
I've seen them.
Not the 4-way, it's further down the T. It's different. They normally have it on the 4-way and they do it further down.
I've seen that on
I've seen them, but I haven't noticed them lately. I was wondering if any of them disappeared.
You don't run the truck anyway, right?
No.
Yours, Any other selectmen items? Good. Say something?
I just wanted to see the book of that. Did you guys, when I wasn't here, did you guys pick who we're dedicating the book to this year?
We have not. Do you have some suggestions, sir?
I just didn't. see that you guys have done anything.
We'll wait for you.
I don't have any ideas. You? I'll think about it.
Think on that. I guess we ought to think on that for another meeting, haven't we?
We've had a couple of conversations about it and it gets harder and harder every year.
Okay. All right. Sign warrants, 87 through 90.
I remember to bring this thing.
Good move.
Put that on. All right, here's your abatements and the county and the liquor license.
So I see the same thing.
Let me send you the- There you go.
Last video, Thursday or Sunday.
Thank you, Colleen.
Is there a draft available for one yet?
Is there what?
A draft that I could take a look at?
I can send you the draft, sure. It'll just, it's a draft on it, but
When do we need for?
I need your remind.
yeah. They are, at the next meeting, if everything is kosher, then they can vote on it that night and potentially the following, but hopefully the next meeting. I don't want to jinx us.
Yeah. That-
Uh,
Must be one for, we got 3 signatures.
It's the same one they send us every year. It's good paper though, you know?
Yeah, I know, I kept trying to feel it apart.
Only the best.
Let's keep
From the
that first
county,
thing and then-
it's from the county. It's on your budget money from the county. These cards help us, sorry.
Another question. Look at the roads that are going into the pond. Is that the end of one?
You'll see it in the warrant.
Oh, she would like, give her a clerk position.
But if you want more details on like more of what's being done to each road, we can go through that if you want. So, because some of them got some pretty extensive, rehab going on.
I don't know if that is all those, is that right? That one?
Nope, that grant's still good. We, they did the, I'm probably gonna get the term wrong, but they do like bore testing or whatever in the road to make sure there's any ledge and that kind of stuff. They just did that last week, and so we should be seeing that coming through. Hopefully we'll have our RFPs ready to put out here ASAP. So, for that section from the casino to the ponds. Part of the bond is from the ponds to King Street.
You got everything back? We good?
It's,
Hold up.
All right.
make a motion to sign warrants 87 through 90.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Scott,
Thank you.
you want this now?
Sure, thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, yeah.
I think make a motion to go into executive session to enter into and discuss disposition of property pursuant to MRSA Title 1, Chapter 13, Section 4056C.
Did you second it?
That's not second.
Okay, all in favor?
Have a good night, guys.
See you later.
Did we ever get the dedication